You are 9 years old. You have never ruled anything bigger than a toy chariot. You still play with wooden animals carved by palace craftsmen, still nap in the afternoon heat like any other child in Egypt. But today is different. Today, priests are shaving your head, dressing you in linen and gold, and placing a crown on it that weighs more than your own skull. By sundown, you will be a living god. This is your life as Tutankhamun, king of Egypt. To understand how a child ends up on the throne of the most powerful nation on earth, you have to go back further, to a kingdom your own father spent his life trying to burn down and rebuild in his own image. You are born around 1341 BCE, likely the son of the pharaoh Akhenaten. Your father was not a normal king. For thousands of years, Egypt worshipped a vast family of gods: Amun, Osiris, Isis, Horus, and dozens more, each with their own temples, their own priesthoods, their own power. Your father decided Egypt would worship only one god from now on: the Aten, the disk of the sun itself. He shut down the old temples. He erased the names of the old gods from monuments across the country. He even built an entirely new capital city in the desert, just to escape the priests who despised him. You are born into this new city, this new religion, this new world your father invented. You are named Tutankhamun, living image of the Aten. Then your father dies, and the chaos he tried to control for over a decade collapses all at once. The old priesthoods, furious and repressed for years, want their gods back. The economy built around the old temples has crumbled. Egypt's international reputation is slipping, its old allies uncertain. And into this fractured kingdom steps you, a child who has never ruled anything, who is barely old enough to understand what a god is, let alone become one. At age 9, you are crowned king of Egypt. One of your first acts as ruler, guided entirely by the advisors surrounding your throne, is changing your own name. Tutankhamun becomes Tutankhamun, living image of Amun, the old god your father spent his reign trying to erase. Within your first year on the throne, you are already undoing your father's life's work. You cannot read yet. You cannot write your own name in hieroglyphs without help. But you are already reversing a religious revolution. Real power, of course, does not belong to a 9-year-old. It belongs to the men standing behind your throne. I, an elder statesman and your closest advisor, essentially runs the daily business of the kingdom. Horemheb, a general who has spent his career building the army into something feared across the region, controls the military. You are the face of Egypt. They are the hands that actually move it. Your days are filled with rituals you barely understand. You are dressed each morning by servants who position every fold of linen exactly as tradition demands. You are carried through temple corridors on a golden litter, incense burning around you, priests chanting words in a version of the language already considered ancient. You are a symbol before you are a person. As royal custom demands, you marry your own half-sister, Ankhesenamun. She is a few years older than you, already familiar with the palace, having grown up watching her own father attempt to remake the world. The two of you are essentially children, playing at being husband and wife, expected to produce the next god king of Egypt before either of you has finished growing up. Behind the golden mask, history will remember you by. Your actual body tells a very different story. Modern archaeological and genetic studies of your remains reveal a young man dealing with serious physical hardship. A club foot that likely required you to walk with support, evidence of bone necrosis in your foot, and malaria, which infected you not once, but multiple times throughout your short life. Over 130 walking sticks and canes are later found buried inside your tomb. Some show visible wear, meaning you actually use them, not just symbolic props for the afterlife. And yet, the propaganda art commissioned during your reign shows something entirely different. Paintings and carvings depict you hunting ostriches from a speeding chariot, drawing a bow to bring down lions in the desert, the very image of a strong, capable warrior king. Whether you actually performed any of this, or whether it existed only as royal image-making designed to reassure a nervous kingdom that their god king was strong and whole, remains one of the enduring mysteries of your reign. You and Ankhesenamun try, as expected of you, to produce an heir. Twice you fail. 2 mummified fetuses, both stillborn daughters. are discovered centuries later sealed inside small coffins within your own tomb, placed there deliberately so they could accompany you into the afterlife you were promised. Whatever grief that loss caused two teenagers thrust into ruling a nation, history has left almost no record of it. Only the small golden coffins remain to tell the story. Egypt needs a living heir to secure its future. Egypt does not get one. At around 18 or 19 years old, you die suddenly. For decades, the cause of your death has been one of the most debated mysteries in Egyptology. Early theories, based on damage to your skull found during autopsies in the 20th century, suggested you may have been murdered, struck from behind in a palace conspiracy. Later, CT scans in the 2000s complicated that theory, revealing a badly broken leg, possibly from a chariot accident, that may have become infected in the days before your death. Combined with the malaria already inside your body, a relatively minor injury may have been enough to kill you. Some researchers have also proposed genetic disorders inherited from generations of royal intermarriage, weakening your body from birth. To this day, no single explanation has been proven beyond doubt. You remain, 3,000 years later, a medical mystery no scanner has fully solved. Your death is sudden, and Egypt is not prepared for it. Your tomb, as royal tombs go, was meant to take decades to prepare. Yours barely has weeks. Workers hastily repurpose a smaller, less grand tomb, originally intended for someone else entirely, cramming in everything a king would need for eternity in record time. Over 5,000 objects are packed inside. Golden shrines nested one within another like a puzzle box. Chariots dismantled to fit through the doorway. Furniture inlaid with ebony and ivory. Weapons, jewelry, board games for the afterlife. And finally, the object that would one day make you the most recognizable pharaoh in human history. Your solid gold death mask. Over 10 kilograms of gold and inlaid lapis lazuli, shaped into the face you never fully grew into, placed directly over your mummified features before the tomb was sealed. With no living heir, your throne does not stay in your family. It passes first to Ai, your old advisor, and then to Horemheb, the general who had waited patiently through 2 reigns for his turn. Both men spend much of their time in power erasing your name and your father's name from Egypt's monuments, chiseling you out of official history, just as your father had once tried to chisel out the old gods. For the ancient Egyptians, being forgotten was a fate worse than death itself. Without your name spoken, without your monuments standing, your soul could not survive in the afterlife they believed in so completely. For over 3,000 years, the world forgets you existed. Then, in 1922, a British archaeologist named Howard Carter, after years of failed excavations and dwindling funding, makes one final attempt in the Valley of the Kings. His team uncovers a hidden staircase buried beneath centuries of debris and discarded workmen's huts, cut directly into the bedrock. Behind a sealed door at the bottom, your tomb, almost completely intact, one of the only pharaoh's tombs in recorded history never fully looted by grave robbers in antiquity. When Carter first peers through a small hole into the antechamber, holding a candle up to the darkness, his patron asks if he can see anything. Carter's now famous reply, "Yes, wonderful things." The discovery becomes a global sensation almost overnight. Newspapers around the world print daily updates from the excavation site. Rumors spread of a pharaoh's curse after several people connected to the dig, including Carter's financial backer, die in the years that follow, feeding a myth that persists in popular culture to this day, even though most of the deaths have mundane medical explanations. True or not, the curse only deepens the world's fascination with you. It is a strange kind of justice. You ruled for less than a decade. You died before you finished growing into the body of the god you were crowned to become. Historically, in the context of Egypt's 3,000-year dynastic history, you were a minor king, a placeholder between more consequential rulers, a name easily forgotten by the priests and generals who came after you. And yet, 3,000 years later, your face, cast in gold, sealed away in silence and darkness, became the single most recognized image of ancient Egypt itself. Museum visitors travel across the world just to stand in front of your golden mask. Your tomb remains one of the most visited archaeological sites on the planet. You didn't win because of what you did. You won because of what was left behind.